Hey everyone, it's Evangeline here at eTrailer, and today we'll be taking a look at our Inno Aero Roof Rack system with the Inno Aero Crossbars that are 51 inches long and the INNO Through feet right here on our 2019 Toyota RAV4. So you got your RAV4 and you're ready for adventure. Now, what you may need is if you want to carry your kayaks, you want to carry roof-mounted bike racks, if you want a roof box or a roof basket, you're going to need a roof rack system just like this. So this is going to be for the RAV4 that has raised rails. If you have flush rails where you don't have an opening underneath this, or you don't have any other rails at all, that's going to be a different system for you. So make sure to use our fit guide right here at etrailer.com to get the best fit for your RAV4. Now this particular kit is actually one of my favorites for the 2019 RAV4. One of the reasons is the looks. It looks really good with the nice shiny edge of the crossbar matching the shiny edge of your RAV4. But other than that, in terms of usability, I think this is preferable. This is going to be the longer crossbar option for the Inno Roof Racks with the 51-inch long crossbars. When you have a vehicle like this, longer crossbars might be better for you because then you can put more items onto your vehicle. This sticks out a little bit further, making it easier to put those items on your vehicle. Other people like the low profile style with less overhang just because it looks a bit more sleek. So that is up to you, but for me, this is my personal preference. So let's talk about overhang. And the overhang is going to be different just because the roof and the rails of the RAV4 are not exactly square. So for the front, it's going to be shorter overhang. We have only about 2 inches from the end of the tower to right before the end cap, while our rear crossbar actually has 4 inches of overhang. If you have accessories that require overhang like the Thule Elevator Load Assist kayak carrier or the Yakima Showdown, they require, I believe, 4 inches of overhang. These would actually be too short. Still though, this is going to be sufficient for your accessories to have clamps that go around. You can clamp them to the overhang. Next measurement people look at is crossbar spread. Some accessories require a specific crossbar spread. The perks of having a raised rail is that you can pick and choose, although you are kind of limited because it's not a very large raised rail. So I have my crossbar set to 23 inches of crossbar spread. For the maximum spread, I feel like you could get up to 28 inches if you put them at the very edge. So that's going to help out with those different roof boxes and roof baskets. Now let's take a measurement for roof clearances. There's 2 measurements there. First is going to be the clearance from the top of the roof to the bottom of the crossbar. So measuring at the top ridge in the back, it's going to be a little past 4¼ inches. So that's going to be the clearance you have for your clamps, your accessories. For example, some roof baskets have a U-bolt that goes around. You have plenty of clearance, so pretty much any clamp is okay. The next measurement is going to be roof height. So from the top of the roof right to the top of the crossbar, it sits a little past 5¼ inches. So that's going to be where your cargo is going to sit, where your accessories are going to sit. So if you're carrying skis and snowboards or kayaks, like the skis have extra large bindings sometimes, and you're going to want enough clearance from your skis to the top of the roof so it doesn't hit your vehicle. In terms of quality of the crossbars, I really like these just because it's going to be solid all throughout. You do have 165-pound weight capacity, but just keep in mind to add up your cargo weight, your accessory weight, and your roof rack weight so you don't exceed your vehicle weight. Now you also have the option for using these T-tracks on the inside. I really like how Inno does it because you don't have to cut any of those wind strips. You just slide your accessory through once you take your end cap off. Definitely an upgrade compared to something like Rhino-Rack where you have to cut it to size, or for Thule where those wind strips split apart after a period of time. And these are going to be the Inno Aero bars. And what that means is, if you remember the traditional roof racks had round or square bars, they worked, but they were really noisy and had a lot of wind drag, especially going down the highway. Then aero bars came around and they're a lot more aerodynamic, quiet on the road. So you want it where the taller portion is facing the vehicle, the front of the vehicle, and that will just guide the wind through, making for a smoother ride overall. This really checks off pretty much all the boxes you would expect from a roof rack system. You got your aero bars, you have your easy to use towers, and you have lock cores on each of those towers. So you are going to get 2 keys here. They're key to leg, you can keep one as a spare, and this will help prevent people from taking off your roof rack system since they lock in place. So this system includes everything you need to install it. The install process is very simple. I though have some extra tools that I use just to make things easier. One is going to be to pick up a tape measure to get all your measurements right. The next is going to be the Moki doorstep. I clip this right into the door and it gives me that extra height and traction, making it easier to install everything. Now, let's take a look at that process. Installing your roof rack is going to be super easy, especially if you have the raised rails. So I have one crossbar set up. We'll set up the second crossbar together. You're going to have your towers or your through feet, and then you're also going to have your end caps for your towers, and you're going to have your crossbars. So the first step is to put the towers onto the crossbars. You're going to have these tabs on your tower, and those are going to fit right into the tray of your crossbar. So go ahead and slide that tray where you can see it on the inside of your crossbar. You see that opening, and then you're going to fit your tower over that opening and then just slide that out to secure it. And then I'm going to put this onto my raised rails. So just make sure the taller portion of the crossbar is facing front, the tapered portion is facing out, and that you have your straps open. So just gently set them onto your raised rails before you take your measurements and tighten them down. Now that you have your crossbars on your roof, let's talk about measurements. So there's 2 measurements you're going to take. One is going to be for overhang, and that's bringing your bar back and forth. You want to make sure that it's even on both sides. I have it at about 4 inches from the lever to the end of the crossbar. That's going to change depending where on the rails you're going to put it. So speaking where on the rails, next measurement is crossbar spread. So if I want my crossbar spread to be about 23 inches, I'm just going to slide it over until it's 23 inches apart, center to center or edge to edge. Do the same thing on both sides. Once you have your overhang even on both sides and you picked your crossbar spread, go ahead and use the included lever on your tower to tighten it down. Compared to other roof racks, you don't need to use any extra tools with this one. Once you fully tighten down your towers, your final step is to put the ends on those towers or those feet. So you're going to have a lock, so go ahead, turn that key to secure that door. Once you've done that on all 4 towers, that's it for the install. You're ready to load this up and hit the road. My personal thoughts about the Inno Roof Rack system is, again, this is one of my favorite kits for the RAV4. I would prefer to have slightly longer crossbars though. This is still going to be the better choice compared to the shorter version of this roof rack system. It does check off all those boxes. You can lock it, it's aerodynamic, you have a really easy to use T-track system, and it fits around your raised rails. You can definitely check out our other videos though here at eTrailer if you have different preferences. For example, if you have other Yakima accessories, you may want a Yakima roof rack to match in terms of the keys, but I still think that the Inno Roof Rack system with the aero bars that are 51 inches long and the through feet is a great fit for your 2019 Toyota RAV4.